let's kind of talk about the reboot now, because coming within the next couple of years, we're gonna.
I guess the first for the second one, I have the lowest, so never mind. I'm an idiot.
I bet in the next year or so, we'll start to see some like maybe director announcements, casting announcements, something, because Harry Potter's been confirmed by Warner Brothers and Max that they're going to be doing a reboot of the franchise. It's going to be a TV series this time. I don't know if they came out and flat out said that it was going to be one season per book, but I think everyone's assuming that's going to be one season per book.
I think it's supposed to be more faithful to the books as well, rather than like, because one season a book. I thought they said that. I thought
right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Which to Cam's point earlier is awesome, because we're gonna get like more battles. We're gonna get more like duels that the movies for some reason shied away from.
Yeah, I think we're just getting a lot more character development in general, because there's so many times in the movies where there'd be like a ball or a dance or like little relationships that in the movies I'd be like, oh, we only have 2 hours of runtime here. I don't want to spend 20 minutes on this. Whereas like in a show, you can dedicate an episode. Like I'm guessing it'll be probably like 8 episodes, an hour each or something. 45
After
minutes.
rewatching, I will say none of them are 2 hours. They're all almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know Chamber of Secrets is the longest one?
The longest movie?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, it is long though.
I figured it was Half-Blood Prince or Goblet of Fire, but I would have never guessed Chamber of Secrets.
My worry with the TV show.
Go ahead.
Are we on to like open?
Yep, that's what we're talking about.
With the TV show, TV shows do not get pumped out once a year anymore, and these movies got pumped out once a year. With some of them had breaks, like writer's strike in 2008 caused a break, and all that. Like some of them had breaks, but the kids don't look terrible, especially starting off. I'm worried we'll get a Stranger Things effect with some of them, where they start out 11. It's great. Next season's 3 years later, 14, you can get away with, or 15, 16, wherever they are. And then it's 3 years. And all of a sudden we got 40-year-olds playing 16-year-olds. Like I'm a little worried about the Stranger Things effect, because TV doesn't get pumped out once a year like it used to back in the good old days.
Especially when you consider how much of a production this is probably going to be. Yeah. Like, these are not going to be year-long productions.
You're not putting $200 million into 8 seasons if you don't get a return on investment in me. Like they need the return on. I'm worried they're going to not get the return on investment and just cut it off, and then we're going to have one season of shit Harry Potter. Like that's just like there. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Harry Potter franchise, the movies that we've gotten, I don't think are so good that like you can't replicate them. I think where they struck lightning was the cast, and I don't know. That's where like I don't know if you can strike lightning twice.
They will not.
I don't think a single movie was like so crazy good that I'm like they could never do this again.
I agree with that. I think the arc, like the overarching the franchise as a whole, is so good. It's gonna be hard to do that much. I think.
The cast is going to determine 99% of the success, and it's tough because people like Ron, Hermione, and Harry were charismatic from the get-go, from the first movie. So you can't really be like, oh, we'll give them time to grow into it. They got to find kids that I don't envy the people trying to put this cast together, because I think that's what it all like. I'm sure you can make another like. Your score is probably not going to be as iconic as John Williams, obviously, but you're still going to be able to make a magical score.
Are they just going to use the same score? That's another thing. Like that score is Harry Potter right now. Like Tyler said, they just went back to it, play the hits in Fantastic Beasts. Are they going to try to use it again? Like I don't know.
I think that'd be so. I think it would be so dumb for them to try to replicate the movies. I think they need to do something to like stand out as its own like. Not connected to the movie type franchise, and they cannot go back to the original score. They just can't.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of book lovers, like avid book lovers of the Harry Potter, like aren't the huge biggest fans of the movie. Like, there's a lot of people that, especially Goblet of Fire, is like the biggest one that people who love the books hate. So there's definitely a lot there in the books that, if you want to stay faithful to the books, will probably look a lot different than the movies did. But I just don't know. Like, do you start? Is season 1, episode 1? Harry at the Dudley's house, and then Hagrid shows up. Like, how do you even start this franchise? Like, what's season 1, episode 1 look like?
It's an entire flashback of Voldemort slaughtering
Harry's mom
and dad.
Yeah, rather than flashbacks, do we just start with like what they actually were? Like the first season is like
because the flashbacks are what make you care about like Snape, and like you think he's this horrible, and then he gets the flashback that you can't start there. And the flashbacks is how you learn about it a little bit more and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Do they do the same exact thing where they start with Dumbledore like walking in and
just dropping a child off at a door?
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know. I'm not sure.
The series expected to be airing late 2025, early 2026. So that means
about that. No shot.
We're coming into. I mean, yeah. If they're going to hold on to that, then that means 2024. We're going to be getting casting news left and right. We're going to be getting set pictures. Yeah, I don't know. Like Cam said, like the aging is such an issue. Like,
the aging is gonna be tough. It's going to be.
Do you
hard,
try and film these all back to back? Like, do you kind of just feel you kind of have to hire these people?
I mean, that's what they did with like the first 3, right? They filmed them back to back. Yeah, they still look young. Like, and so you can't do that with it. It takes a year to film a TV series, like for 8 episodes or 6 episodes, whatever it is. It takes a year to do that. And so I don't know, man.
And then you think about the level of CG that they're going to need to put into this fucking production.
I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying my biggest worry is the casting.
Right. I mean, Warner Brothers sucks because they're making a lot of stupid financial decisions lately with like shelving stuff. But they're the one I would want handling it. Like they've done Game of Thrones, House of Dragons. Like if anyone's going to do it, I would want them to do it over Netflix or Hulu. Like obviously, I'm going to be like, I'd want this to be an HBO show as opposed to, anything else, like a Peacock original. Like I think it's in the best hands possible. But like Cam said, I think that also means it's risky. Like if season 1 flops, they might just shelve it and be like, let's take this tax benefits here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know. Is there anyone you want for casting? I know stuff like Harry, Hermione, and Ron are going to be people that are too young. Like we would
we would not know those names.
But like Adam Driver as Snape's a popular one.
That's a good one.
They're gonna get one big casting, I bet, and it's gonna be like fucking who plays Charles Xavier? Give me the name.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, he's gonna be Dumbledore or some shit like that. They're gonna get one big name for Dumbledore or for Snape or someone. But the kids we won't. No.
Right. Kids won't know.
I feel like you said, they're gonna try to get one big name. That'll be the first one they announce. Like they won't announce the first people won't be like, here's Harry, Ron. They'll be like, what the hell are these guys gonna do? They're gonna try and do a Snape, a Voldemort.
Dude, they need multiple big names if they want to like come anywhere close to like the iconic level of the movies with their casting. That casting is so absurd.
It's tough. Like throwaway is the wrong word, but it's tough because people you cast are gonna have to throw away the rest of their career. Like they had big name actors in the first one, but they weren't really doing a ton other than Harry Potter, especially if they're a main character.
Yeah.
So it's a tough ask to say, like Adam Driver, no more doing your indie movies. You're Snape now. Like it's gonna be a tough swing.
Plays Hagrid.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what liberties they go ahead and change. Like, is someone gonna be completely different? Like, I'm all for like inclusivity, but at the end of the day, like I feel like Ron has to be a redhead like guy. Like I feel like it just like has to be.
Yeah.
Also, I love that Ron for the first like 3 movies. I forgot to mention this. The Weasleys are just known as the broke people.
Yeah.
They're always like, oh, hand-me-downs must be a Weasley. Are they the only broke people in this franchise? Like
that is hilarious. They're the only poor person in Hogwarts.
Hand-me-down Weasley. Like what? Yeah.
Maybe they, you get into like Ivy League colleges because like your parents did. Maybe that's what they did here. Because when I was looking at the Quidditch wiki, like Harry started in the late 1900s, but all through the 1800s, there's Weasleys up and down the Quidditch rosters.
Yeah, right.
So maybe there's a legacy name that just get in based on name. But there's a poor family. Which if you're a wizard and you're poor, that's a skill issue.
That is a skill issue.
Also, they use magic to wash their dishes. They could use magic for so many things. Just make money.
Yeah. Open up a car wash. Open up a...
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a skill issue or just a laziness issue. And they just live in the middle of the freaking woods and like a farm, but I don't see them growing crops or anything. So weird family. They kind of do. I think they kind of like being the sleeper, the one that no one expects, and they can kind of surprise people. But yeah, the HBO, like... It's probably almost been not quite a year, but it's probably been close to it when they announced, like, when did they announce like Harry Potter reboot coming? Reboot announced.
It was during like their big Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
April 12th. So 7 months ago to the day, 7 months ago, they officially announced. And we haven't heard anything since. Obviously we had the writer strike and actor strike, but I don't think that would have probably changed it. Like even if that didn't happen, I doubt we would have really gotten much more, but I don't know. I'm worried for I'm super excited. I think the natural gut reaction everyone has just to immediately be like, no, this sucks. Why are you doing this? Which I get, but I'm a little more hopeful than that. I'm excited for it. I think it could be fun. And yeah, I think like what George said, I just hope it's something new. Like, don't do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can do the exact same thing and it probably turn out well, but that puts a lot more risk on you to nail everything. You got to get everything right. Whereas if you do something completely fresh and new, you're able to make a little more. I don't know, if you don't get the casting completely right or do something different. I don't know. Every character was so good. Every character was so good. Draco so good as just a little kid. Hermione, Ron's, Harry chemistry,
Fantastic.
Insane. And I highly recommend everyone listen to this if you're a fan of Harry Potter to watch the 20th anniversary Return to Hogwarts, which is on Max, because it's so good. And like you get to see their lives throughout you start with the Chris Columbus movies as their little kids and how they got cast. The casting for all these were crazy, and it's probably even more crazy this time around. And then you get to see them grow with Alfonso Cuarón. You go into Goblet of Fire, you see them becoming actual like teenagers, having relationships. Hermione is a huge crush on Draco Malfoy's character for basically her entire childhood life. Tom Felton is his name.
Shout out Tom Felton for living in the past his whole career. I was in Harry Potter. Like, he's the one that brings it up. So
he's never left. You know, he has a book called Beyond the Wand.
No.
Yeah.
Just living in it.
Just that's it. That's all he does. Cameos and books.
On top of that, Tyler, with the 20-year anniversary, they also just had the Boy Who Lived. It was a documentary written by.
Is that out?
I think it's out.
I think it's out. Yeah.
I think it came out like last week or something, or maybe it's not out yet. I haven't watched it. It's about a Harry Potter stunt double who gets paralyzed during the production of this. Sad story. I don't know a whole lot about it. I'll watch the documentary eventually. But I think it's written by Daniel Radcliffe as well as the stunt double. I forget his name. Again, haven't watched it yet, but something to check out if you're a big fan of Harry Potter.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's cool. I saw that was coming out and interested in it for sure. I'm trying to see, because the thing is, like, they haven't really announced a budget, but this is going to have to be Game of Thrones level budget, if not higher, because this is more of a risk than Game of Thrones. It's the biggest risk I think Warner Brothers ever taken. Maybe it's crazy that Warner Brothers taking the risk of doing a Harry Potter reboot at the same time as doing a full DC Universe reboot. Like, I mean, I get why Zaslav's probably like doing these tax implication stuff, because I don't know, like he's got to have just high blood pressure all the time, and his entire company's success is like up in the air right now. Because what else do they really have going for them? Like House of the Dragon's really good, but it's not getting Game of Thrones numbers. Succession's over, but that was never a big draw. What's like the big
Last of Us?
The Last of Us, yeah. But I mean, as we all kind of know, like, or a lot of people know who like played the games, like a lot of people are probably gonna not like season 2 as much as season 1. So what is the reason people have a Max subscription today? Like, what is the pull?
Here, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think there is.
It's had a pull forever. It had Sopranos, which went right into like The Wire, which went right in. You know that we got Game of Thrones. Like it's always had like
that was never an HBO Max. I mean, those were HBO subscriptions, I guess, because that's always been a
right. I mean, I'm kind of just mean like the HBO brand in general has always had something that draws people in. But right now, I just don't really feel like there is, because even big DC fans, like I don't think anyone's having Max just to rewatch DC movies. And I feel like most people who do have like a favorite movie, like the Batman or the Dark Knight movies, and they kind of have those on DVD or have a different way to watch them. Well, and they're always on other streaming services anyway. So I don't know. It's like right now there's really nothing that's drawing people to Max, and they put all their eggs in one basket by merging with Discovery. And now they have like the Max Discovery Plus merger. I don't know. It's like they really need the Harry Potter and the DC franchise to work, and both of them are going to be coming in 2025, because James Gunn's is July 11th, 2025, and then this is probably be late 2025. So huge year.
It's going to be a make or break year for these motherfuckers.
Yeah, next year is going to be a stressful year for them in the boardrooms trying to get all this worked out. But anything else we want to touch on with the Harry Potter franchise? It's definitely, I mean,
real quick, it's David Holmes is his name, The Boy Who Lived, and it releases on the 15th. So not out for us yet, but by the time this releases, it will be. So
which streaming service?
HBO.
Okay, makes sense.
On Max.
Yeah. Because it's Harry Potter stunt double who got paralyzed doing a stunt, and they had a very close relationship during obviously the filming, but also after as well. So it should be really interesting to see. Also really interesting, like dealing with fame as a kid like that, because obviously we all know now that like Daniel Radcliffe dealt with alcoholism for like a lot of his life. And I feel like, I don't remember. I mean, I was too young. I don't really remember that coming out when he was working, because I don't know. They probably just tried to bury it, but I don't know. I just feel like that's got to be such a messed up show business life where like he was probably just struggling so bad. And I bet so many producers and like people on set knew and noticed, but they're just like, we can't care. Like, we need to keep this machine going. Like, we can't jeopardize it. And the fact that like now he says he can't even watch some scenes of Harry Potter because he just knows he was blackout drunk and just sloppy, and it's just a dark time in his life. It's just sad to see, but seems like they're all doing all right now. I mean, it's cool because Ron Weasley, oh shit, what's his name? His real name?
Rupert Grint.
It's cool we saw him in Knock at the Cabin this year. But
Emma Watson hasn't done a movie in like 6 years.
Right. Beauty. She did The Bling Ring with Sofia Coppola. She did
Little Women.
Little Women, which is
she's done great things. Just hasn't done anything since like 2018,
right.
2019.
Well, I think after Harry Potter, she was in a couple of movies, and then I think she just like went to NYU and got a degree or something. And now I think she's doing other stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she does anything. But like I saw like, with Matthew Perry's passing from Friends, we saw a lot of like clips of them at like reunions where like he always kind of seemed like the odd duck out. And I feel like that's the vibe I got about Rupert Grint at the Harry Potter one. And it like just basically sounded like he just like fell off the face of the map, which is not like he just focused on a family, which is good. But I don't know. It's like tough, like to go from that much fame to being nothing. Like, how do you deal with that? But Emma Watson obviously did fine. She became a star. Daniel Radcliffe's starting to be in more movies, but he kind of went away for a while.
He like just popped up. Like he was in The Woman in Black. He was in Now You See Me Too. Mm-hmm. He just kind of like showed up every so often playing like characters like that just you wouldn't expect him to pick up.
Yeah, his Weird Al Yankovic last year.
Yeah, Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, he was in like The Lost City or whatever, which is like a rom-com last year. So he's in a lot of weird stuff, and he's definitely getting more of the acting game, whereas Cam said Emma Watson kind of quit. But yeah, I don't know how you deal with that kind of fame, and whoever's next is going to have to deal with that same level of fame. But flip side, they're going to deal with 20 times more scrutiny than any of the original Harry Potter cast did. So I do not envy the kid right now who's probably right at this very moment a 6-year-old boy has no clue his life's about to change forever in a year, and he's about to become the most talked about, popular, famous kid on the planet, and they're gonna have to deal with that. So best of luck to you, kids.
Some kid eating a bowl of Cheerios watching Teletubbies is gonna have a whirlwind of energy in about 12 months.
Yeah, I wonder if any of the Harry Potter cast or anyone will return to like not be a part of the series, but just to be like, hey, like I can help you through that. Like Daniel Radcliffe, he's got to tell the 6-year-old kid, be like, stay off the booze, bro. Like, just trust me, not the way you want to go here.